Before knowing what I knew today, I was pro. Hot girl summer, live your best life, like, do what you're going to do, like, pop what you gonna pop, pop what you gonna pop for who you gonna pop it for. But a couple years ago, um, I began to realize that me sharing my body with a man that is not committed to me just doesn't feel right to me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about how the spiritual aspects of sex, go into the physical aspects of sex. Definitely wish that I was taught these things when I was younger, and I'm going to share them with you guys. These are things that I live by in my day to day life. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in this topic, then please stay tuned. Okay, so I'm a little nervous or whatever, but the only reason why I'm a little nervous is because I honestly don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, y'all. Like, I don't know what is going to come out of my mouth, but but we just going to be super honest and raw and uncut as much as we can on YouTube, right? So let's just get right into it. Sex, right? There's, a physical aspect of sex and a spiritual aspect of sex. Just like everything that is manifested in a 3D, there's a spiritual energy behind it, like literally everything. So when it comes to sex, typically going through school, we had certain like informational classes that taught us about like different transfers that you can have when you have sex and stuff like that. And we were kind of taught about like protection, kind of like it was like this super weird, not really informative version of like what sex. And honestly, for me, a lot of the ways that I learned about sex was literally through trial and error. Like, I didn't have older women in my life that were teaching me properly about sex and how to care for my body and like everything just about sharing my body with a man in general. And I wish I did, but a lot of the things I learned through trial and error. I learned through giving my body to men and feeling like used and stuff like that. I learned from those experiences that it wasn't working for me. And then luckily on this journey, God opened up certain things that allowed for me to begin to learn the depth of like the divine feminine's body and like how amazing and how like magical her yoni space is. And I want to share that with you guys today. So, the physical aspect of sex is obviously sharing your body with a partner. Now, when it comes to this, oh my gosh, the fact that we literally fought to be liberated when it comes to sex is like the craziest thing that I could ever literally think of now, knowing like what I know today. And before knowing what I knew today, I was pro. Hot girl summer, live your best life, like, do what you're going to do, like, pop what you gonna pop, pop what you gonna pop for who you gonna pop it for. But a couple years ago, I began to realize that me sharing my body with a man that is not committed to me just doesn't feel right to me. And I know so many women tend to detest this and they say like, "Oh no, like I could do it with any guy and like, there's no strings attached, no emotions attached, like whatever." And honestly, y'all, like that's simply not true. Like I'm just going to be real, like 100% upfront and tell you guys that if there is a woman that's out there claiming that she could pop it for any random guy and it's like no strings attached, she doesn't get involved emotionally, she don't even gotta speak to him the next day, that's a numb woman. Not dumb, but numb. She's numb. Her body is numb. She's went through experiences in her life that has caused her to shut her body off, shut her that emotional aspect, that beautiful magical aspect of being a divine feminine. And I'm just being honest because I experienced it. Like, I know what it's like to feel like you can deal with a guy without commitment and like not care about what he does, and you do what you do and he do what he do, and like y'all just living your best life. But it was always something inside of me that honestly was just like something not right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something's just not right. Like, I'm he's doing what he's doing, I'm doing what I'm doing, we're living our lives, we're being protective. Like, that was always my thing. Like, we need some type of protection going on. But even with that mentality, I get, like, a lot of ladies call it thinking like a man. Even with that mentality, guys, we have to understand that no matter how smart we think we are as women, no matter how much you think you can move as men move, at the end of the day, we have different hormonal makeups, and our minds can't outthink our hormones. Like, our minds can't outthink the chemicals in our bodies, and we just have different hormonal reactions when we have sex as opposed to men. Now, mind you, this is different based off of like age range and stuff. And like, if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about this, there's a book that's called I believe it's called The Brain of a Woman and then The Brain of a Man. I forget like the exact title, but there's two like polar books, one about the female brain and one about the male brain, both of which I've read. And if you guys are interested in kind of getting into this a little bit, because I'm not making this stuff up, like, you can do your own research. And basically, like, one crazy thing that I learned that I want to share with you guys is that a woman is supposed to mate logically, and a man is supposed to mate emotionally. When I choose my man to mate with, based off of logical aspects, like, can he provide for me, can he protect me, is he what type of man is he, what is his value system, will he make a great father? Like, these are the things that I should logically think about as a woman in order to mate. And that's also what makes the divine feminine a luxury, because when she's in this energy, she's not just out throwing her body at Tom, Harry, and John, because Tom, Harry, and John need certain requirements to be able to deal with me, And when it comes to the man, when he dates emotionally, what that means is the way that he falls in love is through a gut level reaction. Not enough mental stimulation in the world. There's not enough things that you can like try to convince a man with in the world that will make him love you, because he has to feel it. Like, he has to emotionally feel that thing that's like, I want her. Now, getting back into the topic, when it comes to a woman mating, after she goes through the logical, like, is he this, and this, like, is he a good man for me to mate with, right? Because at the end of the day, when you mate with a person, it's basically for you to make a child. Like, there weren't all these, oh, okay, there we go. Oh, I had such a brain fart. Oh my gosh. So what I was saying was, originally, birth control was not a thing. So when it comes to mating, just like within any species, mating was supposed to be for reproduction, to have a child. And, when it comes to this concept, this is how a woman's body reacts, basically. So after she goes through the logical checklist and she decides, okay, he's worthy to have my body, like, he's worthy for me to mate with him. After she has sex with him, after she has intercourse with him, the hormones in her body begin to react as if they are creating a child. The hormones in her body, for her to logically choose him as a mate, shut off, because her body assumes that she already went through that, right? And then the hormones that are in her body for building a family and being loyal to her man and doing the things that a mother would now do turn on. So that's why you see, after a girl has intercourse with a guy, she tends to like get kind of clingy. She tends to like, okay, now what are we? She tends to get into this mode of like trying to make them a thing if he's not committed, because the hormones in her body, after they mate, they turn on and say, okay, we're creating a child, assumably, because that's what mating is supposed to be for. We're creating a child, so let me make my body do what it needs to do so that me and the husband are good, me and the father are good, and then I can take care of this baby. So all the logic goes out the window because the hormones in her body change after she mates with a man. So, and that's just one example, right? There are other things that goes on when it comes to a woman having sex versus a man having sex. So you know, again, when there are women out here saying that, oh, they can hot girl summer it up and, you know, not worry about strings being attached, that's not true, unless she's very numb and she's went through traumas to just try to be thinking like a man now, and she numbed her body out. It's just not possible. Like, a woman's body doesn't react that way. When it comes to the physical aspect of giving your body, as a divine feminine, you need to logically see, is this man worth mating with? If you guys are interested in seeing what that looks like, I would definitely recommend, and this is a funny recommendation, but you'll see what I mean if you watch it. Watch how different species in the animal kingdom mate. Watch how the male species of each animal, watch what he has to do to like get her to mate with him. The male species has to do like this elaborate thing, and there's multiple men, there's multiple little males, like little male birds and stuff, that do this elaborate thing for this one female, and she has to then choose between the males to see which one was worthy enough for her to procreate with. And that's how women in the divine feminine should be. We should not be out here giving our bodies to John and Ben because he has a six-pack, because he's a smooth talker, because he has a Gucci belt on, because he's driving a Lamborghini. Like, none of that stuff matters, because none of that stuff tells you if he's a great provider and protector for you. Like, that, none of that has to do with you. He has that car for him. He's wearing that Gucci belt. Those abs are for him. Like, none of that is for you. I'm just being honest, guys, because we date so backwards today. And I'm speaking from experience, because I also used to be like dating like that and attracted to those types of guys. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, those types of guys are still attractive. Like, I can't turn my eyes off, right? Like, so I may see a guy that has those qualities of like tall and whatever, and he may be physically attractive, but I won't let that get in the way of like, what can this man do for me? Is this man able to provide for me? Is this man a conscious man? Who is he? Like, what's his value system? Because just because he has a six-pack, that does nothing for me. That does nothing for me. So when it comes to the physical aspect of mating, you have to go through your, I don't want to call it a checklist, because that's super like, I don't like that. I don't like calling it a checklist, but just go through your logics as a divine feminine. First of all, you have to figure out what your value system is, because I know so many women have probably never even thought of something like this. Like, you never thought of the fact that you should mate within value. So you have to figure out what your values even are. What are your requirements of entry when it comes to dating? Like, what does this man have to do? Does this man have to be? Like, how do you want him to show up, you know? And you have to figure out what's important to you. Is a six-pack with a full beard important? Or if this man is capable of literally providing for you and your entire family, he wants the best for you, he has the best intentions towards you, he wants to invest in you, he wants you to live a worry-free life. What's important, right? So that's the physical aspect of dating. You have to, like, in this 3D, figure out what is valuable to you in a man, and figure out what and who he has to be to gain access to your temple, to gain access to your body. Like, it shouldn't just be for anyone on the street that looks at you a certain way. Like, Those are insecurities, mama. I have to be really honest. Like, if any man could just whisper in your ear and like say any little thing to you that's like smooth, and that got him the last 25 women that he slept with, that's an insecurity for you. Because shouldn't no man should be able to just waltz into your world, like say this little razzle dazzle line and get into your temple? That's insane. That's insane. So I'm just being real. Like, that's crazy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was of some help to someone out there. I really truly love you guys so much. So much. And I hope that you guys are able to continue your divine paths in alignment and in whichever way suits you the best. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.